Hello everyone and welcome to Fangirl Tarot, my first video. I am so grateful to you that you clicked. I am grateful that you're here, grateful that something drew you to this channel, whether it's the name or the thumbnail or whatever it is, something made you click on this and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful to have you. So as you can see from the setup before me, I do have a pick a pile reading coming for you in just a few. And the question we're going to be exploring is what is the nature of our relationship? So you can be thinking about your person, starting to concentrate your energies, starting to look at the piles before you. But I wanted to, quick before I get into that, I wanted to give you, first of all, a little tour of my setup and my decks, my collection so far. You can see some of them peeking out in the corner by my picture frame there. And just tell you a little bit about me. Excuse me. I think that it can be helpful when you're allowing someone to read for you if you know a little bit about them, that you have a little bit of a connection with them in some way. So I just want to give you a quick tour. I promise it will be fast, of what I have and what my setup is. A little bit about my philosophy with my practice with tarot, and just a little bit about myself. If you don't care about this and you just want to get to the reading, I totally understand. I'll make sure to put a timestamp down below so that you can, oh, there's my cat, so that you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear this part and you just want to find out about your love life or your other relationships. It doesn't have to be love. I do understand if you feel that way. So a couple things. First of all, I do have some music playing in the background. It's just a Tibetan meditation music YouTube video, actually. I think it's from Yellow Brick Cinema. I'll link the video down below so that you can listen to it if you're interested. But since this is my first video, please do let me know if it's distracting or if you can't hear over it. I did a couple test runs and it sounded like it was a good volume to me, but just in case it's too loud, please let me know and I'll correct that for next time. You may also hear, as you did once already, I have two cats and they like to make a lot of noise, so you may be hearing them periodically throughout the video, either the bells on their collars or they're very vocal, so you may hear some of that. So I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you find it comforting, the sound of animals. As you can probably tell, I'm a cat person. You can see already I've got the tarot of pagan cats here, and I've got my cat, I don't know what to call that. It's not a canvas, but it's a wood block, I think, that's just been decorated. But so I guess I'll start there since I'm already talking about it. My setup here, this is actually, so I guess another note is that I live in a studio apartment, which poses a few different problems. I do like living here, but my neighbors are pretty noisy and they've been pretty loud already tonight. So I think that they're done, but I hope they're done. So you may, at some point, you may hear something from them. I'm not sure. And also, this setup where I am in here, this is actually my kitchen counter island. This is just about the only place in my house that there is to set up like this. So that being said, I am also right next to my refrigerator, so you may hear that start making some noise at some point as well, and I'm sorry you can't do anything about that. So just be aware that that may come up. But my setup here, and maybe to explain a little bit about the name, you might figure it out pretty quickly why I decided to call my channel Fangirl Tarot. So I've got this wood block that I was just talking about with the cat on it. I got it at Target a couple of years ago, around Halloween time, and I really loved it because you can tell it's a little cross-eyed. I loved that it wasn't perfect. The eyes are glued on a little crooked and the nose is a little crooked too. I just thought that it had character. I thought it was kind of charming, so I picked it up, just thought it was cute, and it's been hanging out in my kitchen ever since then. I don't put it away when it's not Halloween time. I just love it too much for that. And I've got some candles burning. one. This one I really love is my Sherlock Holmes candle. It's from the Whiskey Diamond Candle Company. I got it in a bookish box probably a few years ago at this point, and I really like it. Oh, sorry, my cat just acted like she was about to jump up here, and I've got some burning candles, so I don't think that's a good idea. She scared me for a second there. So it's tobacco, and there's another scent to it. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, it smells really nice. All of these do. Then I've got my Good Vibes candle, also came from Target. These two both came from Target. So I've got Good Vibes here, and this one, you can't really read it, but this part you can sort of see it. It says Get Inspired up at the top. And then I've got my incense. I'm burning some Nag Champa right now. I'm probably gonna have to switch it out soon because this is actually my last stick, and I know I'm gonna want to keep it burning while I'm doing this, so I'll have to replace it pretty soon with, I think, probably my India Temple incense, which also smells really nice. And then I've got, excuse me, right here, my picture frame, if you can read it. It says, "Raise your words, not your voice. It's rain that grows flowers, not thunder," from Rumi. I think that this picture is from Tumblr, maybe. It's something that I printed out forever ago, when I was in college, I think. And I put it in a frame just because I really liked it, and I've been carrying it with me since then. So probably had it for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years following me around. So I really, really like that sentiment. I love that idea. I thought that the picture was beautiful, and it does go along, you'll see, with one of the things that we're going to be reading today. So a little bit about me before I show you what I've got, stuff that you'll see popping up in readings. I am a teacher. I teach English and social studies at the high school level, and I am just now, it's the end of May, so I'm just about to finish up my 4th year doing that, and I really love it. I am a Christian, which I know is probably unusual for the tarot readers that you maybe watch regularly, but I think that in Christianity, tarot gets a really bad rap that it doesn't deserve. I don't think that it's evil or demonic or anything like that. I think that it's a good way to clarify your thoughts. It's a good way to just get some insight into your own heart and your own mind. I think it presents a new way of thinking about things. So I think that it can be used the wrong way, but I also think that it can be used in a way that's really useful and helpful. I do believe that God is who I believe in. I don't believe, first of all, that God has a gender. I believe that he encompasses male and female, but we call him he. So I'll be using the word he, but I don't discount people who call God she or they or anything else like that. But I do believe that God can use tarot if he so chooses to. I also believe that it can just be something that we use as insight into ourselves. So that's sort of my philosophy behind it. I don't subscribe to the idea of spirit guides or anything like that. You won't hear me talking about spirit because I do believe in God. I'll refer to God. You can, of course, interpret that as spirit or the universe or whatever you believe in. I don't want to alienate any of you, and I want everyone to feel welcome here. I am a very inclusive person. It doesn't matter to me what color your skin is or who you love or anything like that. I want you to feel welcome here. And I also want you to know, if it makes you feel more comfortable, that I also vote that way. I definitely lean liberal. There's really not a lot about me that is conservative. So I say that I'm Christian. I don't want that to be a turnoff to you or to make you feel uncomfortable. So I hope that that helps you understand a little bit about where I'm coming from and what my beliefs are. But that you are welcome here regardless of whether you hold the same beliefs that I do or not. So all that being said, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Please just leave a comment below. I would love to respond and maybe engage in some dialogue about that, about my philosophy or where I'm coming from, or if you're also a Christian and maybe you're struggling with the idea of tarot. Hush, baby. I would love to talk to you about that and tell you kind of how I've arrived at the conclusions that I have. So that being said, all of that, I want to show you just very quickly. I'm not really going to go through them in any depth. I can do that if you would like me to, but I just want to show you quickly what decks I'm working with. I have a lot more oracle cards than I have tarot decks, but I just want to show you the ones that I do have. My collection is still growing. It's kind of small at this point, but and I'll highlight the ones that you're going to get readings from today. So the actual tarot decks I have, to start with, I have the Tarot of Pagan Cats, which I already pointed out. I like the box has a couple different pieces of artwork, on it. I really like this deck because, first of all, like I said, I am a cat person, so these cards right here, they're kind of little, which I really like. I have the mini version. I like that because I have small hands, and it can be a struggle for me to try to shuffle bigger cards. So some of the other cards that I have are tough for me to work with because they are larger, and I have trouble holding them to shuffle them well. So I've got that one. The next deck that I have, I love this one, is the Wonderland Tarot. It's got artwork from and inspired by, I believe. It's got original artwork and artwork from the book, from Through the Looking Glass, in the Alice in Wonderland series. So I, excuse me, I love these cards. I think they're really cool. I love the artwork. I love that it comes in a tin, and also you can see that the tin talks about it, that the suits aren't the traditional swords and cups and all that. They are flamingos, peppermills, hats, and oysters, which is kind of fun. Oops, went out of focus. So that's kind of fun with these. They're sort of whimsical. I like to play with them. The very first deck that I ever got was the Kauai Tarot from Diana Lopez. I think that these cards are so fun. They're just really cute, which I guess is the point, since that's what the name means. But the artwork is adorable. It comes in a nice big holder here. It's like a big book almost, nice and thick. And the guidebook that it comes with, out of all of the decks that I have, this is the best guidebook, I think. So it looks like this. It goes really into depth about each card. Its meaning, both upright and reversed. It gives some different spreads and ideas for how to create your own spread. And I just think, out of all of the decks that I've encountered, this one has the very best guidebook, I think. The next deck, and actually the last tarot deck that I have, ooh, dun 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 dun, dun, Game of Thrones. I got this on Amazon, actually, and this I love. It's got a big giant box. The artwork is beautiful. The time that I'm filming this, the very, very last episode, the series finale of Game of Thrones, is going to air tomorrow night. I've seen the whole series. Also, just curious, comment below if you're like me and you've seen every single episode and there are still some characters whose names you don't know, because I have like nicknames that I've made for them in my head because I have no clue what their actual name is. So anyway, you'll be getting kind of the centerpiece of your reading from the pick a card tonight will be from the Game of Thrones deck. So you'll be getting some of that nerdiness in here. In terms of my oracle decks and things like that, I have the Crystal Angels Oracle from Doreen Virtue. I love this packaging. I love the shiny stars, and they're on the cards as well, which I think is really, really pretty. I love the artwork. I love the sentiment behind these. I'm not going to be using these today, but in the future, hopefully, a reading coming up soon. also from Dream Virtues. I've got 3 of hers. I've got the Loving Words from Jesus deck, which I actually just got these, and I got these from a lovely woman on Etsy who was clearing out her large collection. So I bought them from her, and I'm gonna link her shop in the description because she was really wonderful to work with, and she had some really interesting things for sale. So I actually just got these in the mail today. They've been on their way for a few days. I've had a chance to look at them. I love these because, as I said, I am a Christian, and I love that these have Bible verses on them. I think that they can provide some good affirmation, good insight. So I really like these cards. The last set from Dream Virtue that I have are Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. I saw this one and I thought it was so beautiful. I'm definitely an ocean person, so this deck really spoke to me. When I saw the pictures of it, I knew that I had to have it, so I got that one too. All of these next ones you will get in your reading today. So I've got the Whispers of Love Oracle cards, which I think is just really pretty. So these ones are, I mean, obviously the theme is love. So I thought that these would be insightful for what we're doing today. Get some love information. Just think these are pretty. I haven't had much of a chance to play with these ones yet, so pretty excited to do that today. The next one, this is what I was talking about that the picture relates, is the Rumi Oracle. So as I said, I am an English teacher, so poetry is one of my things that I really love. So when I saw this, it kind of spoke to me immediately. I love Rumi's words, I love his poetry, so I was really excited to stumble across, because it truly was like I wasn't even searching it out, I just found it randomly. I was really excited to see that there was a deck inspired by him and that utilizes his words. This deck is the Wild Offering Oracle, which is beautiful. I bought this from Katie Daisy, the illustrator on Etsy also. I'll link her shop below too, because my goodness, the art is lovely. The words are beautiful. Tasha Silver did a great job creating these cards. So I really, really love this deck. It's another one that I haven't had too much of a chance to play with, but I've looked through it. I love the messages on it. I love the design. All of it is so beautiful. And this one you'll get in your reading today too, and I'll show you the back when we get there, because the back is really pretty. And the last one, the last piece of my collection, is the Rana George Lenormand. These cards are really beautiful too. They've got nice shiny gold. You can kind of see it on the front here, and they're on all the cards as well. It's done in a Middle Eastern style. It's all inspired by her time. I believe that she was born in Lebanon. They're all inspired by her time there. So all of the cards are Middle Eastern inspired. She includes also in her guidebook an explanation of why she drew the pictures the way that she did, which I think is really cool, because she includes some personal stories about things that she encountered or things that she saw. So just really interesting and cool. So there you go. Those are all my decks. That's my collection as of right now. I'm hoping to expand it, but that's what I've got right now. So next up is our pick a pile reading. So I'm going to give you a moment to think about which pile you would like. Your options here, again with the fangirl stuff. Your first pile option is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, if it will focus. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. There we go. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is your first one, pile number 1. Pile number 2 is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Maybe, there we go. And pile number 3 is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, where it all began. Philosopher's Stone, of course, if you are anywhere except America. So take a few moments, think about your person, focus in on the energy of the cards. 1, 2, or 3. I'll give you a moment to think. While you're choosing, it's just a reminder for you that as you've heard, I'm sure other tarot readers on YouTube say, this is a general reading. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or your intuition. It doesn't mean that it's a bad reading. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that it wasn't for you. It was for somebody else, and that's okay. So your options, of course, if you start to listen to what I'm saying or my interpretation of a certain pile and you think, like, no, that doesn't sound quite right, you can totally go back and pick a new pile, or you can leave this video and find a different one and come back to something new later. It's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with doing that if you feel like it's not resonating with you. So I'm going to take a moment and replace the incense that has burned out, and I will be back momentarily with pile number 1. All right, my pile 1 people, welcome back. I know that didn't seem like any time for you. It was a couple minutes for me. We've got fresh incense burning. This is the India Temple incense. You can kind of see the packaging peeking out behind my Get Inspired candle. It smells really nice, so got some fresh incense going. So you are my pile 1 people. You were the ones who chose Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. That button there. So again, let's see, where can I put this? Okay. We are exploring the question, what is the nature of my relationship with this person? I'm assuming probably you're here because it is a romantic question, but it may not be. The beauty of relationship spreads is that they can be with anybody. You have a relationship with every single person you know, whether it's an acquaintanceship or a soulmate connection. So anything within that range, this totally works for. So thinking about your person, we're going to be doing a simple 3-card spread. A card for you, a card for your person, and a card for the relationship overall. And I'll be doing that with the Game of Thrones tarot. From there, I'll be using the 3 Pagan Cats cards to be clarifiers for each one of those cards. So each card will get its own clarifier. We'll look at 2 Lenormand cards, and then 3 different oracle cards. The Rumi Oracle, the Wild Offerings Oracle, and the Whispers of Love Oracle. So hopefully we'll be able to use all of those cards to build an interpretation to figure out what exactly is going on with you and your person. Also, I didn't clean the incense burner off before I lit the new one, so that's gonna bug me. So probably gonna bug some of you too if I didn't do that. There's still some on there, but that one was hanging off and it was driving me crazy. So that being said, let me pick up your pile, deal out your cards. I do read tarot in reverse. I know that some people don't, but I do. Just so you know. So starting with the Game of Thrones tarot, and I love this deck. I think the art is so cool. But we've got you, the devil. Your person is the 3 of Swords. And oops, let me move up a little bit. And the relationship overall is the 9 of Swords. So nothing in reverse. Interesting, okay. With the Tarot of Pagan Cats, your clarifying cards for you is the 4 of Cups, or the 4 of Chalices, they say. For your person is the Knight of Chalices. And for your relationship overall is the Emperor in reverse. Your Lenormand cards are number 13 and number 25. Oh, I'll tell you right away, that's a good one to have in this. we'll go through these one at a time. I'm just laying the cards out now. Your Wild Offerings Oracle. I told you that I would show you the back of these cards. Look at how gorgeous that is. The art is so beautiful. Okay, your card there is Empowerment, which I'll read to you and we'll talk through pretty soon. Your Whispers of Love. Do something for someone. And your Rumi Oracle is the Divine Mother Manifests. So we will take those as they come. So starting with the tarot spread, we begin with you. You were the devil, which sounds like mean when you put it that way, like, ooh, you are the devil. But of course it is not what we think of it as being. So kind of the keywords that go along with the card, the devil, are addiction, vice, and self-medication. So that makes me wonder where you are at right now. Like, are you okay? You are probably at this point trying to numb your feelings or numb your thoughts with some sort of vice, which may be something like drugs or alcohol, but could also be something like food or sex. There are so many different things that you could be using. This this shows up when there is some sort of an addiction. So I don't know what it is that you're feeling. I mean, this could also be something that seems a little more innocuous, like you might be addicted to attention on social media, or there's something that you are seeking out for validation or for comfort or to make you feel good, and you feel like you can't be without that thing. So we're clarifying it with the Four of Cups. That okay, so the Four of Cups, one of the keywords for that card is self-absorption. So that makes me lean toward it. This probably is some sort of like a social media thing, which sounds almost silly to say, but I think that we all, if we engage in social media in any way, we have some degree of this, where we feel like we need validation from other people, or we need other people to tell us that we're doing well, or that our lives look really cool, or whatever it is. So I'm thinking that you right now, you feel like you need this validation from whatever source you're getting it from. The cups usually, they usually signify movement and flow and that sort of thing, but we've got a lot of stagnation in this card. So that's saying to me that maybe you aren't appreciating what you do have. You always feel like you need more of whatever this vice is that you're engaging in. So that's kind of where you are right now. Your person, the Three of Swords, is their overarching card. Heartbreak, war, and pain, which, I mean, we kind of get that sword stabbing into a heart that's on fire. So we can see that. So I'm thinking this person is experiencing a time of heartbreak or pain. Perhaps they just got out of a relationship that was very toxic or not good for them, or they got out of a relationship and now they're just feeling sad about it. They're feeling heartbroken over it. So we've got this kind of underlying base of them feeling hurt and really just heartbroken. So clarifying that with the Knight of Cups, I wonder if we can figure out a little bit more about that. Charm, drama, and romance. Okay. So that kind of tells me, sorry, I have to pause to think sometimes. That tells me that this person probably is very charming, is very romantic. I think that this person might be somewhat of a player even. Maybe For the sake of ease, I'm calling you a she and your person a he. This might be different. You can substitute in whatever pronouns you prefer for each person, but just for the sake of ease on my end. I think that this guy, your person, is probably kind of a ladies' man. Very charming, can sort of get any girl he wants. Has maybe a reputation for being kind of like suave and cool. And he probably doesn't let it show very often when he does have true feelings for somebody. So I'm thinking that this pain, this underlying pain in the Three of Swords, he's not letting that show. He's kind of putting on the front of like being okay, everything's fine, like I'm feeling good still. He doesn't want to let it be public knowledge that maybe he's not okay, or he's not in a good place right now. So it's almost like a secret. So how that relates to you, I'm not sure yet. So it seems like you are craving validation. He is hurt, but won't let it show. Maybe isn't being honest about his feelings. So maybe if I'm looking at the overall relationship, let me see if I can figure any more of this out. We've got the Nine of Swords and the Emperor in reverse. Oops, I'm bumping stuff. So the Nine of Swords, anguish, worrying, and rumination are the keywords for that. So I wonder if maybe this is your ex. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, that this is your ex, or it's someone who you've maybe had like a fling with, or someone who you've had feelings for and they've had feelings for you. Like there's been mutual interest, but it died out for some reason, or didn't happen, or it did happen and now it's over. There's something here like that. The Nine of Swords is telling me the overall relationship, like there's some regrets here, there's some worrying, there's where you kind of can't let it go. You're really focused on whatever problems are happening in your life. You're feeling really stressed about them. And it seems like the relationship overall has that feeling to it. So I wonder if maybe the validation that you're craving is not necessarily from social media or anything like that, but it's from this person. You are feeling sort of empty. You're feeling very stagnant. You don't feel like you're getting the appreciation or the recognition or the validation that you deserve, and you want it from this person, but they're not giving it to you. And my guess would be probably that they entered into another relationship, probably not with you, and it's now over and they're feeling hurt over it. So you're still craving them, you're craving their attention, you're craving their validation, but they're hung up on this other thing that has gone down. Excuse me. So the overall feeling of the relationship right now is like worry and stress. Like both of you seem like you're in that place of worrying and being stressed out and just not being overall in a good place. Qualifying or clarifying that, we have the Emperor in reverse, which is powerlessness, abuse, and distraction are the kind of the keywords for that one. So you're worrying, powerlessness, and abuse. So I wonder if this was like a toxic relationship. Maybe you two were together and there was some sort of a power imbalance. There was some sort of abuse going on. Maybe not physical, maybe emotional or mental or spiritual abuse. I'm not sure what it was, but something is very unhealthy about this relationship is really what I'm seeing. You are craving fulfillment and it's not coming to you. They are craving comfort and peace and it's not coming to them. And the relationship overall seems like it's one of suffering. There's not a lot of positives that are coming up right now, which is probably not what you were wanting to hear, but we try to be honest with ourselves. So you've got worrying, you've got anguish, you've got powerlessness, you've got abuse or destruction, and kind of abuse of power. So maybe it was one of you, maybe it was both of you, maybe you're just not good for each other. But overall, it seems like this relationship isn't very healthy. But as I pointed out earlier, I mean, the ring and the Lenormand came up, and that's where we're headed next. And that's a pretty positive card. So maybe there's something else coming in the future. I kind of see Lenormand cards as action steps almost. They kind of tell you what you're supposed to do or practical steps you can take. So, excuse me, sometimes the smoke from the incense and all the candles starts to get to me a little bit. So the Lenormand's pretty new to me, so I'm going to be utilizing the guidebook that came with it to sort of help me in my interpretation, because I am still learning about that one. I don't want to misspeak about anything. So you have number 13, the child. So children, okay. It brings the idea of having fun, of starting new beginnings. You can see in the artwork, it's a little boy playing a game. He's playing with marbles. But it can also indicate maybe immaturity. I mean, obviously, children, immaturity makes sense. Shrinking, diminishing, being juvenile, but it can also represent being innocent. So maybe part of the reason why this relationship is unhealthy at this point is because one of you or both of you are being immature in this. Maybe choosing ignorance or choosing immaturity, not stepping up when you should be, perhaps. So I would take that card as an encouragement to step up and grow up a little bit. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's talking to you, although if you are the type of person who's craving that validation, I would say is probably a pretty good guess that it is talking to you, encouraging you to find your validation and your worth in more stable places than the opinion of others. So we've got that card, but then we've also got the ring, and I'm not sure exactly how the ring fits into it quite yet, because the ring represents commitment, things like marriage. So the ring is a promise, but can be a trap with negative cards around it. Okay, that makes sense. It seems like I would guess maybe that this is your ex, or it could be even a current partner, maybe someone that you are engaged or married to, who has unresolved issues surrounding someone who's not you, someone that they're still hung up on from their past. So this picture is starting to come together, I think, for me. That you are probably asking about someone that you are with. So I realize that this has changed a lot as I've been talking, but as more and more cards come up, it's starting to build a more complete picture, I think. I'm thinking this is probably your current partner, someone who you are in a relationship with currently. You are feeling empty and lost because your partner is still hung up on someone from their past. They're not fully invested in the relationship with you. That's why your overall relationship is one of worry and kind of living in constant fear, like that they're going to reject you or that the relationship's not going to work out. And I think with the whole idea of abuse or powerlessness, I don't think probably that they are actually abusive to you. Maybe they are, and if they are, you should get out. But I know that that's easier said than done. But probably what's going on is they have a kind of power over you because you love them and you want them to stay. You want them to choose you. But it's still up in the air whether they're going to choose you and stick around or not. So there's some sort of chosen ignorance on your part, some naivety, some childlike tendencies, because you really want to believe that this is going to work out. You want this to be what you want it to be. But deep down, you're worried. You know that things might not turn out the way that you want them to. So let's see. Do something for someone. Give your attention to another. Okay, so with that card coming up from the Whispers of Love Oracle, I think that there are a couple ways you could take that. I think that it's interesting that the tagline or the little description on that, right after I said that you should get out, or that you're worried and that's kind of toxic, the tagline says give your attention to another. So that makes me wonder if this card should be interpreted as it's time for you to go. It's time for you to stop waiting around, to stop allowing yourself to be treated badly, but to move on and find someone new who's going to treat you well. But it also could mean, so I think another interpretation could be that maybe they need some more attention, your current person. They need more of an idea that you love them and that you care for them. They need to kind of be killed with kindness almost. Not that they're really necessarily being bad to you, other than maybe ignoring you or making you feel less than, which is bad. But they just need kind of like a comforting presence. They need to know that you were there, that you love them, and that you understand while they work out their stuff. So I think let's start with this one, the Rumi. The Divine Mother manifests. Let's look at that. So that's interesting, the comforting presence that I was just talking about, and then we've got the Divine Mother. So I'm also going to look this one up. Because this is another card another deck that I'm getting used to. So the poem from Rumi that this one includes is, "Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss, for those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards." Interesting, okay. So we do have the Divine Mother, the comforting presence. Her hands are open. She's presenting a gift to you, is kind of the gist of some of the things that I just scanned the guidebook, but excuse me. I think based on that and based on this one, so from the Wild Offerings Oracle, we've got empowerment. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear Lord. So with this one, so the Divine Mother, do something for another. The Divine Mother manifest and empowerment all together. I mean, what it seems like these cards are saying is that it's time to remove yourself from this toxicity. It's time to move on. It's time to find yourself some stability. It's time to find yourself someone who's going to appreciate you, someone who's not going to be caught up in their past, someone who's going to be all in with you. So I recognize that might be a little bit hard to hear. And I also recognize that it is a lot easier to say it than to do it. So I want you to know that you have people around you who love you, that you do have the capability to make this happen with your empowerment. If you make the choice to grow up, to be realistic with yourself, you have the power to do anything that you need to do to remove yourself from a situation that's not good for you and step into a situation that is. So, if this reading resonated with you, I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear about your person or about your relationship. So please do leave me a comment. Let me know if this resonated. I know that what I have had to say in my interpretation here is probably pretty tough for you. It's tough for you to hear. It's tough for you probably to do. But I want to encourage you that you can do it, that you have people supporting you, and that it's all going to work out the way that it is supposed to work out. So I also want to make it clear that you don't have to listen to the message here. This is one potential outcome, or it's one potential interpretation. There are a million different ways that this could go, and you affect them all with your choices. So you have the power to turn the situation to make it something different than it is now. Please know that. Please know that nothing is set in stone, that you can make what you want to happen. So please let me know how things go. Let me know if this reading was helpful to you. And until next time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me by listening, and much love and light to you. Thank you. Right, hello my pile 2 people. I am so glad you're here. So glad that we get to embark on this journey together. You are the people who picked Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Maybe, I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. There we go. So again, let's see, put that over here. We are exploring the question, what is the nature of my relationship with this person? So kind of what we're looking at is currently what's the situation that you're in, and hopefully get some action steps and a little bit of indication of what you should be doing to make progress in the way that's going to be the best for you. So pile number 1 people got kind of a tough message. I'm hopeful, though, that it is the message that they needed to hear. So I'm also hopeful for you, pile 2 people, that this will be what you need to hear. So the way that we are going to do this, the centerpiece of all of it is a simple 3-card spread. 1 card for you, 1 card for your person, 1 card for your relationship. And I'll be doing that with the Game of Thrones Tarot. I'll be using the Tarot of Pagan Cats as clarifiers. So there are 3 cards, 1 for each of the initial 3 cards. You'll be getting 2 Lenormand cards that I kind of think of those as action steps usually. I think they served more as clarifiers in the last reading, but typically I think that they give you some action steps. You'll be getting a card from the Rumi Oracle, from the Whispers of Love Oracle, and from the Wild Offerings Oracle, all with some messages that I think we'll be able to use all of this, pull it together to create an overall picture of what your relationship is and what's going to need to happen in it. So let me lay these out in the correct way. So we'll start with the 3-card spread. So the card for you is the Page of Cups. The card for your person is the Page of Coins, the Page of Pentacles. And the card for your relationship overall is the King of Swords. So interesting. Okay. All the face cards. The clarifiers for each from the Pagan Cats. For you, let's see, the card for you is Strength. The card for your person is the Two of Wands. And the card for your relationship overall is the Seven of Pentacles. Your Lenormand cards. And I'll tell you, I'm still learning Lenormand. I'm still growing my knowledge on that. So I will be consulting the guidebook to help me with those cards. Because I'm still learning what they are, what they're all about. So you have number 38. And you have number 29. So I'll go more in depth with those in a few. Your oracle cards. Your Rumi card is Sacred Union. That seems like a good thing, right? Your Whispers of Love is Receive with Love and Appreciation. And your Wild Offering is Loneliness. So we'll start with the tarot. I will dive into the Lenormand and the oracle cards after we are done with the tarot part. Hopefully we'll be able to use all of these to paint a complete picture of what exactly is going on. So starting with you, we've got the Page of Cups. And the keywords for that one, sorry, it took me a second to think of that word. Puppy love, creativity, dreaminess. So I'm thinking, and just so you know, well, throughout this reading, I'll be referring to you as a she, your person as a he. Your pronouns, their pronouns may differ from that, just for the sake of ease for me. But I'm thinking you definitely, you have a crush for sure on this person. If there was any question about whether this was a romantic reading or not, there is no question now. This is certainly someone that you have feelings for. This is someone that you have a crush on. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's someone that you are in a relationship with, but it could be. You could, you could definitely have a crush, so to speak, on your partner. But in any case, this is, if you are in a relationship, it's probably new. You're still kind of in the honeymoon phase. You have a crush on somebody and you're very dreamy. So you're also probably pretty focused on them. You spend a lot of your time, I guess, thinking about them. In your clarifying card of Strength, your keywords are courage, calm, and compassion. Dealing quietly with your frustrations or with your anger when you may not want to actually respond that way. So I think that that's a good thing. These two cards together are telling me that you are probably a person that a lot of people like. You have a level head, you are calm, you are kind, you're very compassionate, and you have strong feelings for other people, especially the person that you are thinking about right now. So I think that those are very worthwhile qualities. So I think that's a very good thing. This picture of you is good. For your person, we've got the Page of Coins. They call it the Eight of Pentacles. The keywords there are ambition, work ethic, and thoughtfulness. So probably your person is very kind too. They're a hard worker. You probably admire that a lot about them. That's probably part of the many things that draw you to them. You're very impressed by their work ethic. You're impressed by the way that they put their mind to something and do it. And you're also impressed with the way that they're very thoughtful, that they're very kind toward other people, because you are very soft-hearted. You're a little bit dreamy and all of that, but you are very impressed by kindness, because you do have that within yourself too. It's something that you probably prioritize pretty high, and it seems to be something that they prioritize as well. So you are very impressed by them. You probably, part of the reason why you like them so much is because you see them being a good person. Their clarifying card, the Two of Wands, choice, prosperity, and opportunity are the keywords there. So probably I would say that has to do with their work ethic, with the way that they persevere and work hard. Scooch that up a little bit. Again, that's probably one of the things that draws you to them. That they are a very hard worker. They put their mind to something and they do it. And you find that very impressive. So they are probably getting up to some sort of a crossroads or a choice maybe in their career. They have a new opportunity coming their way. So I think that you are watching to see what they choose to do, but you're watching with kind of like hard eyes. Like, you're very impressed by them already. It doesn't really matter what they choose. You already think they're great no matter what it is. So it might be a promotion, or it might be a chance to change jobs or to take on a new responsibility. But I would say whatever they choose, they're going to be prosperous. They're going to succeed at it. So that's a good thing. It sounds like both of you are really good people, I think, which is a good thing. So we definitely know how you feel about your person, but not so much how they feel about you quite yet. Excuse me, with your overall relationship, you've got the King of Swords, got the scary Night King on it. But even if he does look a little scary, the keywords are authority, ethics, and objectivity. So the King of Swords is very much about maturity, being intellectual. So I think at this point your relationship probably is maybe a more serious one, or headed in that direction. What you're hopeful for perhaps, and I think what the cards are indicating will be, because I don't think probably that you are together at this point. I think that this is just a person you're sort of admiring from afar. Maybe they're one of your friends. They're probably actually one of your close friends, but you haven't maybe made your feelings known to them yet. But your relationship, the relationship that you do have currently, that friendship, is deep. It's mature. You two support each other. You love each other. That's a good thing. But it's about objectivity, which I think can be a little tough for you because you are kind of dreamy. You have the level head, like I said earlier. You stay calm and collected, but you definitely have a dreamer in you. And you can get a little giddy sometimes. So I think that this card is telling you that piece isn't really there in the relationship right now. That what you have currently anyway is something that is very mature and serious and intellectual and objective. It's not really very emotional. So that helps me to think that you probably are not together at this point. To clarify that though, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. So with that one, vision, waiting, and time will tell. So yeah, okay, that kind of confirms to me that you are not with this person. You probably would like to be. I am sure that you would like to be, in fact. But at this point, you are not in a relationship. So you are sort of waiting around to see what happens. You're not making any moves, and neither are they. I mean, I think at this point it's still a little bit mysterious what they feel about you. We still don't really know. Your feelings are obvious. Their feelings, not so much at this point. They probably are not quite the same as you in terms of they're maybe not as emotional. They're not as emotionally expressive as you are. But at this point, neither of you have been. You haven't let your feelings be made known. They haven't let their feelings be made known. If they are anything further than friendship, they haven't said anything either. So we've got a lot of waiting around. We've got a lot of waiting to see what happens. It seems like both of you are maybe waiting for the other one to make a move if it's going to happen. And you know, if both of you, all you're doing is waiting for the other one, then no one's ever going to make a move. It's never going to happen. Which is something that I understand completely. So don't feel bad about that. Your Lenormand cards. Let's get those two out and see if that helps at all. So this one's the incense burner. I love this picture. The artwork's really pretty and also kind of cool. We've got some incense burning. I'm gonna need to put in a new stick pretty soon. But the incense burner, cleaning, clearing, dispersing, saging, banishing negative or unwanted energies. Okay, so that makes me think that probably you, in your sort of emotional state, obviously you have a crush on this person, you think that they're really great. I think maybe you might think that they're too good for you, in fact, because you do see them as a really good person. They're a hard worker, they're very compassionate, you really admire them, more than just on a physical level, but you really admire them as a person. So you probably have been thinking a little bit negatively at times, like, what's the point of me even having feelings for them? Like, they're never gonna like me back, like it's never gonna happen, why would I even think that they would choose me, like those sorts of things. So this is saying, like, hey, it's time to stop that. It's time to stop doubting yourself. It's time to stop putting yourself down, and it's time to start being a little more positive about this. So it's telling you that you need to be more positive. You need to let go of that negativity because it's holding you back. It's not helping you. It's probably just making you feel bad. So if you're not feeling good, you're not feeling confident, then you're not going to be putting off the air of being approachable and confident and all that. So you're not helping yourself by being negative here, I think is what that card is saying. Number 29 is the woman. So this just says it typically represents an actual woman, oftentimes the person getting the reading, or a strong feminine energy. So this one is a little tougher to interpret, I think, but I would say probably what this one is getting at is you should be utilizing your feminine energy a little bit more. Fully embrace that you are beautiful, and even if you're a man or masculine watching this, that doesn't mean that you don't have a feminine side. And how that appears when you choose to use it is probably going to look different depending on whether you identify as a man or a woman or non-binary or gender fluid or any of those things. Your feminine energy and your feminine spirit is still there, but it's going to present itself differently. So you can take this to mean whatever it looks like for you to manifest feminine energy. But if you are female or you identify as a woman, using your feminine energy means, like, use those feminine charms that you've got, like not just your body, but also like your face, your hair, your voice, your presence. Your presence just as a woman, or your feminine presence, is powerful. We get life from women. We have strong women raising us, strong women teaching us. We rely on women to learn how to live for most of our lives growing up. So trust in the fact that you have power and that your feminine energy can be a real asset. And I think especially your person is very focused. They're a very hard worker, but they are compassionate. I think that they're observant, and I think if you start to manifest that feminine energy, they're going to notice, and that's going to draw them to you. So don't be afraid to embrace what you've got, physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually and all of that. Don't be afraid to tap into the feminine energy that you do have. So your oracle cards, you've got, we'll start with this one, loneliness. When you stop fearing your aloneness, you stop settling for less than you deserve. May I embrace and love my solitude, and that's when kindred spirits can finally come. Okay, so I think you've been feeling maybe insecure about being alone, which I think ties in with your Lenormand card that I just covered up, of course, but you've been feeling insecure, you've been feeling lonely, like wondering, is your love ever going to come along? All that sort of stuff. So I think this card is encouraging you to embrace the fact that you're alone right now. Don't see it as a negative thing. See it as neutral. It's not good or bad. It's just where you are in life. And when you start to accept it and start to realize that it's not a negative thing, that's when you start to open yourself up. That's when you start to become more comfortable with who you are as a person. That's when you start drawing other people to you, and that's probably when your person's gonna come. So I think that it seems to me like this reading more has to do with you than anyone else. We still haven't gotten a very clear picture about what your person feels, but what we're seeing here is a lot of encouragement that if you embrace who you are, if you embrace where you are in life right now, that's going to draw the people that you want. So if you have your eye on your person, if you start to manifest those things, you start to present your feminine energy, you start to accept that you are perfectly fine the way that you are and you don't need anyone else to be validating you, that's when your person's going to wake up and start to notice that is true, how you are beautiful and you are the person that they've been waiting for. Maybe they just haven't noticed yet because you've been hiding yourself away. You've been so worried and concerned about how you come off to people that you haven't been showing your true self, and so they haven't had a chance to see you in that light yet. That's what I think. So next up, we've got receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. So I'm gonna go ahead and look in the guidebook for this one too, see if it has any insight that I'm not catching, because again, this deck is pretty new to me and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So let me find it. Let's see. Receive with love and appreciation. Allow someone to express love by accepting what they want to do for or give to you. Okay, yeah, I like that. So this is the whole idea that someone wants to give you something, and you should accept it graciously even if you don't feel like you deserve it, because that's a way that you can show them that you appreciate them and that you love them. So I wonder if that does have to do with your person. Once they start to wake up and see you as a person that they could potentially be with, they're going to start offering you their love or their attention, and you're not quite sure about it because you don't feel like you're good enough for them. I think you're still sort of in that headspace. And this card's telling you, like, let them love you. Let them start to pay attention to you and accept that attention without pushing it away or feeling like you're not good enough for it. But one way you can truly connect soul to soul with them is to accept what they have to give you. So I like that a lot, actually. Your your Rumi Oracle, Sacred Union, which I think is a really nice one to end on. Sacred Union, because of course a union, that's what you're after here. That's what you're wanting. You are hoping that you're going to end up with your person, and that seems like this is indicating that. So I'll read in the book the poem that goes along with this one. Only the oneness of love in the lover is eternal. Surrender your heart into this union, for all else in the world is momentary. Love that word of surrender. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? I think that this relationship that you're wanting is coming. I really do think it is. I don't know necessarily right now that your person does have feelings for you, but I don't think it's because they don't like you. I think it's because they haven't seen you in that light yet, because you haven't allowed them to. But I think if you're following these action steps, if you're opening yourself up, if you're embracing that it's okay to be alone right now, if you're embracing that it's okay to be feminine, that it is okay to have a feminine presence, if you're embracing all of those things, they're going to wake up and they're going to see, like, wow, this person is awesome. Like, why did I not notice her before? They're going to start paying attention to you. If you accept that attention, if you allow them to love you in that way, then I think you're going to end up with something really beautiful. A really, like it says, a sacred union. Like, this is something special. So I think at this point, you're not on the trajectory for that. But if you decide that you're going to start being more open, I think that you will be. I think that you will be on the path to that beautiful relationship that you're hoping for. And I think that it will be with the person that you're wanting it to be with. So overall, I mean, this is very positive. I think that these are just gentle reminders to you that you are already good enough, that you are already beautiful, that you are already exactly who you need to be. All that you need to do is let the world see that. Let the world see you for who you truly are, because who you truly are is perfect already. So this is a really, really positive reading. I think you're going to end up getting exactly what you want. And in the process, you're going to bring beautiful light and energy into the world that we need. We need people like you, because you are compassionate and kind and thoughtful and all of that. We need the world to be full of more people who put those things on display than the things that people often glorify. So you are an awesome person. I think that you are going to be soon on the path to getting what you're wanting here. Show the world that you are awesome, because we need you. So overall, please do let me know if this reading resonated with you or not, and why. I'd love to hear about your situation. I'd love to talk with you about it. So please do leave me a comment. Let me know what your situation is. You can tell me a little bit about your person. I'd love to hear all of it. So in the meantime, just know how beautiful and how amazing you are. I know that this is going to work out well if you are willing to show the world who you are. So congratulations on that. I know it can be scary, but you can do it, and it's going to be awesome. So until next time, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Thank you for being here, and much love and light to you. All right, welcome my pile 3 people. I am so excited that you're here. So excited that you chose pile 3 and that I get to read for you. So you guys are the ones who picked Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone if you are from a cooler country than I am. So as you, let me put this up here. As you already know, we are going to be exploring the question of what is the nature of my relationship with this person, a person that you're thinking about. In the past 2 readings, it seems like both of them have been romantic. I'm not sure if yours will be too, we'll see. But the basic idea, the centerpiece of your reading today is, of course, the tarot, and then we've got a bunch of other things that kind of frame it. So I think of it like a picture. You've got the picture in the middle and then the other stuff framing it. So that's kind of what we're doing today. So with the Game of Thrones tarot, I'll be giving you a simple 3-card reading. 1 card for you, 1 card for your person, 1 card for your relationship overall. And then with the Tarot of Pagan Cats, I'll be using those as clarifiers. So you'll have 1 clarifier for each of those 3 cards. Then you'll get some oracle cards, the Whispers of Love Oracle, the Wild Offerings Oracle, and the Rumi Oracle, along with 2 Lenormand cards. So we'll start with the tarot, and then we'll kind of work our way outwards that way. So we're trying to paint a complete picture here of your relationship, but not only that, but what you should or should not be doing. to make things go the way that you want them to go. So you'll hopefully get a picture of the trajectory that you're on right now, where things seem like they are in this current moment, but maybe also some stuff that's going to help you figure out how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. So while I'm laying these out, I'll also tell you that for the Lenormand and a couple of the Oracle cards that are new to me, I'm going to be consulting the guidebooks that came with them, because I don't want to misread or say the wrong thing. I want to have a bit of a basis for what I'm saying, especially with Lenormand. I'm definitely still learning that one. It's still kind of new to me. So I want to make sure that I'm interpreting the right way, and also making sure that I call the cards the right thing. So just know that I'm not going to be reading the guidebook to you, but I'm going to flip through it and scan through it and just use it to help me. So starting with you, your card is the Eight of Cups. Your person is the Eight of Spears reversed. So the spears are wands. And your relationship overall is the Page of Swords reversed. Your clarifying cards for you is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Got a lot of reversal. This actually, I don't think we've had anything reversed in, well, maybe we have. I don't remember. I already forgot. But a lot of reversals for you. For your person, we have the Empress. And for your relationship overall, we have Judgment reversed. Okay, interesting. For your Lenormand, we have, okay, number 1 and number 2. That's what we've got. There's number 1 and number 2. So I'll go more in depth about those and your oracle cards after we look at the tarot. For the Wild Offerings, I think I forgot to show the back to the last group, but look at how beautiful that art is. Your card there is Intention. Your Whispers of Love oracle is Appreciate This Moment. Beautiful art. And your Rumi is Let Love Transform. Okay, so I think I'm already starting to get a picture of what this is. So, starting with you, we've got the Eight of Cups, and I like to look up the keywords for these ones. So the Eight of Cups, the keyword is moving on, journey, and abandonment. So this card is kind of bittersweet. It's like moving on. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking for reversed. I'm already going crazy. Returning home, laziness, and complacency. Okay. So yeah, basically it's the opposite of the keywords that I just read. So if you take those keywords and you just flip them, that's what you've got here. So I think it is still bittersweet. That part hasn't changed. But maybe it leans a little more on the bitter side than the sweet side at this point. So this could mean that you currently are feeling very complacent in your life, that you are feeling kind of lazy, but it may also mean that you are feeling a desire to return home or return to innocence, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So we do have this sort of bittersweet energy where you are feeling complacent, you're maybe feeling a little stuck where you are currently, and you're feeling like you wish you could just go back to the way things used to be, when things were simpler, when things were easier, when there was less pressure and less intensity. So it seems like you right now are sort of feeling a little stuck, and that's kind of the overall vibe that I'm getting about you. It's just that you're feeling like just stuck where you are. Like you wish that things were different, but you don't really know how to make them different yet. You just wish that it wasn't like it is now. To clarify, with the Queen of Pentacles, you've got overcommitment, financial ignorance, and nesting. Okay. So maybe part of the reason that you're wishing things could go back to how they were before is because you're feeling like you've committed to too much, you've taken on too many things. You right now are just feeling very overwhelmed, very stuck, and you're unhappy with your life as it is currently. So that's where you are. Your person, the Eight of Spears or the Eight of Wands reversed, pacing yourself, delay, being overly busy. So your person seems like they're feeling similarly. That they have been like going, been really busy, really caught up in sort of life and trying to get all the stuff done that they have to get done. They're feeling very stressed too. So it seems like you're two peas in a pod when it comes to that. Just these cards really have a lot of motion to them in different ways, because yours does have the air of feeling stuck, but both of you seem like you're kind of rushing around at this point. Maybe the difference is you feel like you're not going anywhere. They feel like maybe they're making some progress, but at what cost? So the Empress, creation, nature, and nurture. Yeah, okay. So that kind of confirms that to me, that maybe they feel like they're making some progress, that it's stressful and it's hard, but they're working toward something and they're starting to see things pan out the way that they want them to. So that's again kind of bittersweet. It's a good thing that they're seeing what they want start to come about, but they're wearing themselves out doing it. So kind of a toss-up about whether or not that's a good thing. So both of you, it seems like, are feeling pretty similarly, but with different outcomes. You feel like you're going nowhere. They feel like they are, but maybe at a really slow pace, or it's just more stressful than they want it to be. The overall relationship, the Page of Swords reversed, you've got know-it-all, gossip, or haste. So an element of snobbery is one phrase that I just saw as I was closing that. So that makes me wonder if in this relationship, one of you thinks that you're better than the other. And I don't know which one of you that is, but I'm thinking someone's feeling kind of snobby. And my guess, based on the sort of outcomes of your two situations, I would guess it's your person, that they're feeling a little bit like nose in the air, like they've got it all figured out, that they are maybe a little bit arrogant. So there's a little bit of an imbalance in this relationship, that you're seeing that things aren't necessarily what you wanted them to be in between the two of you, and maybe you're feeling a little bit frustrated because your person is sort of a know-it-all, which is not really what you're after. But to clarify that, we've got Judgment. So I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? Sorry, but what I can tell you while I'm trying to hunt this down, I don't know why I can't find the page. Judgment, or Judgment, when it's reversed, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing. Okay, here we go. Legal trouble, lying, or unfairness. So I would say that kind of, that goes along with the Page of Swords. The whole idea that they're feeling a little bit like better than you, or that they're kind of arrogant or show-offy, that there's some sense of unfairness there, that there is the imbalance. I think that's just what it's highlighting, is the imbalance. maybe they're lying, maybe they're even lying about their success. Or maybe you are lying, you're lying to try to keep up with them. So there's definitely an imbalance, there's definitely something going on here that's a little shaky. So the overall feeling of this relationship now is like maybe it's very competitive, it's not very healthy. I would guess that this probably is not romantic. This probably is someone like a coworker or a friend who you are sort of in competition with, would be my guess here. This could be a romantic relationship. I'm not ruling that out, but these sort of cards lend themselves to more like a rivalry than anything else, where you're both maybe competing for the same things, or you're in the same sort of situations in life, and you feel like you're making no progress, they feel like they're making some, and there's an imbalance because of that. Like they seem like they're winning, and you're not so happy with that. You don't really like the idea of losing, and you feel like you're losing right now. So I would guess that this probably is a coworker or like a frenemy sort of situation. So your Lenormand cards, like I said, I'm going to be using the guidebook a little bit with these. Not reading it to you, not spending all my time reading it, but just getting a little brief overview. So number 1 is the Rider. Movement, news, information, delivery, or someone or something coming or visiting. So this might mean that something new is about to come to light, especially since we had Judgment in reverse, talking about lying. Maybe the truth is going to come out soon, especially if it is the person you're thinking of, if they're lying about how successful they've been, or they're lying about the progress they're making, or something along those lines. The truth is going to come out. It's not going to stay hidden for too long. The message, the news, the information is going to it's going to come out. So that could be something that plays in your favor here. The Clover at number 2 is of course like lucky. That's sort of straightforward, but good luck, opportunities, happy moments, chance, surprises, serendipitous encounters are the words that come up for that one. So I'm thinking probably that this news is going to come out in a way that's very lucky for you. I don't think it's anything you're going to seek out. I don't think it's anything that you're going to cause, but somehow this person's going to get what's coming to them. And you're going to see it as a stroke of good fortune, because it sounds like it is. Because you've been put in a position where you've been feeling very belittled, or like you are losing, and something's going to come out that's going to show everyone that maybe you are the bigger person, or you deserve the accolades or the applause more than the person who you sort of have this rivalry with. So that's a good thing for you. You're going to have a stroke of fortune when it comes to this person, which is a good thing. We like that. With your Wild Offerings card, you've got intention. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. Okay, so I'm thinking that definitely relates to this, that if you're setting your intentions, if you're setting your mind on justice and maybe karma, if you're thinking along those lines, and I'm not encouraging you at all to try to sabotage this person or to be the one who starts spreading rumors or anything like that about them. I'm definitely thinking you need to take the high road here, and actually be the bigger person. But if you've got your intention set on good things coming your way, then good things are going to come your way. I don't think by any means that you should be setting your intentions on bad things coming to this other person. I think that when we put that sort of energy out there, it has a tendency to backfire on us. So if your intentions are for good things and success to come to you, if you are working toward that, if you are setting your mind to making that happen and you're actually taking action steps to make it happen, then I think you're going to be set up pretty well. And that's when I think those pieces are all going to fall into place, where they're going to be exposed as the type of person that they truly are. Their true colors are going to come out, all that sort of stuff. So if you're taking care of yourself, you don't need to worry about the rest. It's going to take care of itself. So I think that is a really good thing. You've got appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. Okay, so I think that relates to what I was just saying, that you don't want to be putting that negativity out there. You don't want to be wishing bad things on them. You want to be loving them, which is truly, it's difficult. It's a hard thing to try to love people who you don't really get along with or even like. That's not easy. It'll never be easy. But I think what this is saying is that it's going to be worth it if you choose to take the high road, if you choose to be the bigger person, if you allow God or the universe or whatever it is you believe in, if you allow that to do its thing and take care of the situation for you. Find a way to love the person, kill them with kindness, sort of an idea. Like, don't stoop to their level. Let them sort of ruin themselves. They'll be the downfall of themselves. You don't have to put in any work for that. So I think that's a good thing, and I think it also ties in with your Rumi card, which is let love transform. Letting love transform you. So the poem that goes along with this one: the spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls, the dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes all soul. I love that. That's so beautiful. So I think that really neatly ties it all together, is that if you're doing this, if you are focused yourself on doing the best that you can, if you're focused on yourself and not spending all your energy thinking about this other person, but you're putting love out into the world instead, you are choosing to love them as best as you can, even if you don't like them. You're killing them with kindness. If you're putting love out into other people, into other places, that love is going to change who you are in a positive way. That it's going to take those pieces that are dried up or dead right now, and it's going to transform them into something that has life, something that's beautiful. So I think that if you are focusing your energy on being as positive as you possibly can be, that you are focusing your energy on doing the best job that you can, making all the progress that you're capable of making, focusing just on doing your own thing, and putting love out into the world instead of hatred or frustration or anger, I think that you're going to find that you are transformed into a better person, and you're going to get what you want, whatever that outcome is going to be. And you don't need to worry about trying to destroy or get back at this person who you have this rivalry with, because everyone is going to find out sooner or later what sort of person they are. They're going to realize that this person that you're thinking of isn't the saint that they try to pretend that they are. So they're going to be exposed. They're going to expose themselves, basically, somehow. Some truths are going to come to light about them, and you don't have to worry about doing any of that yourself. It's going to get taken care of without you. You just got to worry about putting that positivity out there, doing your own thing, doing the best you can. So overall, I think this is really encouraging. This is a very positive reading that things are gonna work themselves out. You don't have to worry about looking like the bad guy at all. You just have to worry about being yourself and trusting yourself and being as positive as you can be. So overall, that's a really good thing. So I would love to know whether this reading resonated with you or not, and why. I'd love to hear about your situation. If you'd like to tell me about it, please do leave me a comment down below letting me know whether this was useful to you or not, and maybe some details about your situation. We can talk through some of that together if you'd like to. Overall, I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that you walk away feeling encouraged that things are going to turn out the way that they're supposed to. Overall, I am so grateful that you were here, grateful that you allowed me to read for you, and I hope that it helped you in some way. So good luck to you. Until next time, much love and light to you. Thank you. All right, so thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Thank you so much for being here, for clicking. I hope that you found this informative. I hope that you found it enjoyable. I hope that you come back next time. So until then, please do leave me some comments below about what sorts of readings you'd like to see in the future. I do have some plans for what I want to do. I tend to focus on love-related questions, but I am open to reading for just about anything. I'm also planning on starting to expand my crystal collection, and I want to start putting together a charm collection also. So know that there are big things coming that I hope are helpful and fun and insightful for you. So please let me know what sorts of things you'd like to see. And until next time, I'm so grateful to you. I encourage you to go in love and light and know that you are making a positive difference in the world just by being yourself. So thank you and much love to you all. Until next time, this is Fangirl Tarot. Thank you.